Alright everybody, welcome to the New Year's video for 2026. It is I, Xilestar, and today I have pretty much a lot of things that I need to talk about, and I'm hoping that this will be a pretty decently linked video. Pretty much. So as you can probably tell, I have some mods installed that are going to be new in terms of the whole new version of things. It's still a little iffy on if I'm going to keep them for the next Oblivion mod playthrough whenever that happens, which we will get into a little later. But, yeah, pretty much. So let's get started with it. So what will be changing or what will be added? Currently, as of right now, nothing. I'm going to be implementing new systems for the channel. Like, I'm going to be starting a schedule, so that way, though, like, everything is now going to be more consistent. And with that new consistency, it will also change how I do things a little bit behind the scenes and even just uploading in general. So hopefully that will be a great change for the channel as well. So the next topic, of course, is going to be the new schedule. How will this affect the channel? So on January 1st, hopefully at around midnight-ish, give or take, it'll definitely be around that time. I will be updating the frequently asked questions, or the FAQ, as I like to call it. So pretty much this goes into hand with the two things. So I'm going to go and... So it does have the new schedule, as it currently is in such a simple, like, here's a list of what I'm looking into right now, but it can change. So the first question that I updated is, what's changing for 2026? And so what I answered was that, so a lot of things behind the scenes. For one, all currently edited sessions are going to be the final ones that are rendered to 16 minutes. So what this means is that if you look at every current video that's on the channel that's not a complete, they have always been 16 minutes on average. This is changing with the new system to sort of... How do I want to word it? To sort of combat the fact that, like, we're going to have gaps in the schedule. So this will hopefully combat those gaps kind of thing. So it makes sense. Because usually it's every single day. But because now I'm using a schedule, there's going to be a day where there's no upload. So it's like, that could have been filled, right? So now I got to combat that. All future ones will be changed to 30 plus minutes. So if I, like, let's say, record for 2 hours and 8 minutes because that's what I'm used to kind of thing, that doesn't mean, like, oh, no, he's going to have one video is 8 minutes or whatever. No, it just means that those videos are going to be 32. But then this also doesn't mean that, like, if I feel tired at the 2-hour mark, I can cut it there. Instead of going like, oh, I got to drudge it for another 7 minutes to just make that last video. No, I can literally cut it at the 2-hour mark, which actually both helps me out a lot, which gives me that extra 8 minutes to do whatever else I can do for the channel. It even could possibly help me set up the editing for the rendering, so that way, though, I can get that done as quickly as possible as well. No changes will be done for the completes, however, except for the fact that they are now changing. I'm changing one of the days that they will be uploaded instead. Also, we will be having a schedule for the channel now. So the next question is, what is the schedule? So here's the new schedule. This is still a work in progress, so please be patient if anything changes. Sundays will be the completes only. So if there's no completes, it's being excluded. I'm going to be doing a slight change to this rule for the next year, for 2026 pretty much, not next year because it would be 2026. For 2026, I'm going to be changing the rule of how I do completes for a short time. And maybe I'll add this to the list too. Do I already have it here? I'm just briefly checking here. No, I do not. I do not have it here. So I will definitely add that to here. But pretty much what it's going to be is, when does a complete get uploaded? So I'll go into a brief explanation of how a complete goes up before I continue on with the schedule. So how a complete gets uploaded is I go through sort of like how many videos are in that session. Let's say 8 is usually the usual. So we'll say 8 videos. So let's say the 6 videos are up and we get to a Saturday. Okay. Let's say Sunday would be normally when I would have uploaded that last 2 videos of that session for that complete. But what I could do is that if I have another complete that's ready to be uploaded, all of its videos are already up. What I can do for that Sunday is that I can upload that complete that's already done and this complete that's almost done. Mind you, this will now only be for... Actually, I could do it for all of them. It's okay. So what that means is that like you'll be getting a sneak peek of 30 minutes of content before the smaller videos come out. That's it. That's all that happens. Now, does this happen all the time? No, this has happened a few times. I think in 2023, 2022, I think, 2023, maybe 2024. I don't think it's happened this year, or the year that I'm currently recording this in, which is 2025. I don't think it's happened this year. Maybe early on, but I definitely don't think like too much of this year. But that's pretty much how the completes get uploaded, kind of thing. I see if all the videos have gone up. When I upload, I still have the original. I'm gonna say this. I have a better way to call it. The placeholder title. So I have a placeholder title that tells you what the series is. So end roll, the part number. So end roll 186. So all I do is I go into a folder that is that session number, and I look at the end. And if it says 186, that means that complete can go up. And if it is a part of the new system, which means it gets the audio bump, then it gets the audio bump first before it gets uploaded. If it is not a part of that series, then it just goes up as is. I think there's only one series as of now, which I will change starting next year, which will be Pal World. That will be changed. So Monday will be Endroll / Oblivion. This is future-proofing a little bit, just in case Oblivion mod playthroughs do come back. That's something I do want to put into that slot kind of thing. So Monday will be Elder Scrolls kind of thing. Tuesday, nothing will be uploaded. So that means that there is no series that's going to occupy that slot. That's a free day, pretty much. Wednesday, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, Minecraft, all of its subsequent series. So that means Serica which will be rebranded anyway, Cobblemon and Pixelmon. That's all within that Minecraft bracket. And only one of those will be running at a certain point. But what I might do is I might alternate between them. So though there's still fresh content being done in all 3. So there's that too. And Palworld, of course, because Palworld's usually how it is. Anyway, Thursday, nothing. Friday, Pokemon. This is currently going to be Legends EA. At some point, if all of the Legends EA small videos have been uploaded, Pokemon Sapphire will come back into full swing. The problem with that is that Pokemon Sapphire, of course, the current session that I did upload before Legends EA did come out, they're still within their 16-minute sort of things. So that sort of happened. So Saturday, that's going to be the day where stream archives go into, and of course Sunday is completes, and it repeats over and over into the week. So January is already done, by the way. January has already been fully done, except for this video. This video hasn't gone through its audio bump, obviously, and it's still being recorded, so obviously that's not there. So the exclusions to this upload ruling, to this scheduling, is Oblivion scripts, which I will be doing a lot more focused into the next year. That is not a topic that I put on here, unfortunately, but I will definitely talk about that a little bit. And the New Year video, which will be this. So they are being excluded from the upload schedule because they are once in a blue moon, and technically the Oblivion scripts, I have them unlisted for a reason. It's not because, oh, I don't want traffic on those. It's because I don't want to flood people's feed on one day. Let's say I upload 4 Oblivion scripts on a Wednesday. You're not going to get 4 Oblivion script videos and then you're going to get Pal World. That's 6 videos in a day. That's gonna be too much. So that's why I've decided to change that, so that way though that's there. I definitely need to go pick up an item. Still need to test it around a little bit. So streaming, will it happen? Yes, I'm going to be putting in a lot of effort into trying to focus solely on streaming. In more sort of like I'm going to put more time and effort into actually like getting something rolling for that. So we'll be able to do a lot of Oblivion stuff on there. I'm hoping I can get at least the base of my mod done so we can just start adding stuff to it. So it's just like adding extra items into there. So there you go. So the next topic on the list is for Oblivion, the mod progress. I'm going to show you that as of right now. So you can see this portal. You can probably already tell what this comes from. Comes from Therion. I'm guessing I didn't change over the sound effect to the Mages Guild portal, but that's okay. So here's what I currently have. Excuse the frame rate. I think it's because like I still have the other location, so it's loading that location at the same time. By the way, this is still in the same world space. It's just like all the way over here, I think. Yeah, it'll be over here because it's Cloud Reader Temple. But yeah, and for some reason it's not being shown on the map, which is really weird. Anyway, so yeah, so I finished the outside of Therion. It is 1-to-1 on the outside. There's only a few things that are different, and that's because I want to do something in particular. So I got to do a little bit more research on that before I go and say, oh yeah, this is totally like finished kind of thing. Did I go? No, I didn't go 180 yet. It's okay. And we are 180. Perfect. So if I go up here, you'll see that we're up here now. Yeah, so you'll probably notice here, there's no ingredients. Oh, I didn't fix the table. That's okay. Those are going to be fixed because I think I just didn't switch the tables over. Weird. Thought I did. But anyway. Yeah. But yeah, it's mostly all done. So here's how I'm going to be doing my my mod pretty much. So I'm going to keep Therion's exterior inside of the master file instead of how I did it before, where I just had the master file hold all the records and then I had the ESP handling everything else. That's not what's going to be happening anymore. Also, all these don't have names because I'm still in the process of working on that. Anyway, so if I remember correctly, this has the up. Here, yeah. Yeah. Also, that's different from what was originally here. So instead of the nocturnal statue, that's Azura. And this is gonna actually activate the statue of Elysian. So, although that's good enough anyway. Why does this look weird? Huh, weird. I have to take a look at that. Maybe it looks like that, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. This will be a different model, but that's beside the point. And I added my little additions as well. I added my little mushroom stems here because I like them. They look amazing. I like them. And the one thing that I've definitely have changed from the original Therion to my version of Zatharan pretty much is this. Because I think this is a way better area. Excuse that. So you're going to have to excuse that part because these are supposed to be different. Oh, they're just like that. Okay, that's interesting. Ah. Ignore the quills over there. They're supposed to be rareless stones. But of course, yeah, there's still a lot of work to be done. So what the idea is going to be is that the player is going to have two separate so you're going to have two different versions to install, pretty much. There's going to be the full story version, which is going to take you to the island, and how the story is going to be is that, like, oh, the Dark King is repairing Xilestar because at one point it was destroyed, and you know, like, you're there to kind of keep that island area alive enough so that way, though, Drathis still has, you know, an island to get back to. And so you're going to be so it's going to be a mix between having like sort of like how the Shivering Isles Grey March is, kind of thing, where there's going to be otherworldly invaders that somehow invaded the heart, but Drathis is so devoted into rebuilding Xilestar. And so what's going to happen is that, like, you're going to be there, kind of thing, and then when you're finished, kind of thing, or during the ending, kind of thing, your character won't be able to defeat an enemy. Then Drathis comes back and goes, Xilestar is complete, and then we'll just smash the enemy, and then they will obviously be dead. And then after that, he'll take you to Xilestar's main hall over here when it is more complete. This is just a replica of Mankar Cameron's Paradise, kind of thing, so it doesn't have what I'm looking for, but it will. So the idea is that, like, you know how in the mod playthroughs, kind of thing, we have that area where I have the giant shelf kind of thing? Well, that's what this area is going to be. So this area is going to have, like, the shelf, and it's going to have, like, all the different rewards and stuff like that we found on those journeys. And that's going to be on this side. And then on this side, I'm actually going through the entrances where I want them to be, which is actually kind of funny. This will be, like, Drathis' personal forge. And then this will be, like, sort of like where he puts his stash of items, kind of thing. And this will actually contain all of the DLC / the vanilla enchantment stones that I created. Well, I say I created. They're the enchantments from those weapons, except for the staff or the staves on here. So they'll be, like, stacked onto a shelving system, kind of thing. And then over here I might have these other sets that I've created. But what I'm thinking of doing, and you guys might probably actually like this idea, because I might actually go through it on camera to show that part off. I'm not going to show off the full main story because I don't know when that's going to be, but pretty much Xilestar, or at least this place here, is supposed to be the final reward. It's supposed to be, like, the pinnacle of, like, your reward kind of thing. So this is supposed to be endgame content that you will have two different installs. You'll have either the full story, where you have to go through the island first to get to here, or you can download the second version, which will just bring you here. And you'll just be able to do the endgame content alone. That's it. So another thing that I will have is, this is another thing I've been thinking of doing as well, is that I've been looking into Imperial City architecture in the town, not like the waterfront again. I've been looking into that. And from what I've found, this is really odd and strange to me, and I'm going to show you through one of these interiors. Okay? I'm going to show you through one of these interiors in general, because I thought it was really strange on how it worked. So, this is an Imperial City tower. Okay, this is an Imperial City tower. These ones are not actually complete. I'm missing some things here and all that stuff, but those are accessories. Those can be later. So apparently, on some of the Imperial City houses, kind of thing, there are windows in here that are there. Actually, you know what? I'll do a better idea of comparison here, because I'll show that off while I'm talking about the return of the mod playthroughs. So will mod playthroughs return? I don't know next year. Honestly, I want to say yes. I really, really do. I want to say yes, they're coming back. They're planned for June because that's when Enderall is finished. No, Enderall is still not finished. It's whenever Enderall is done. They will come back. I've still been looking on the Nexus for any new quest mods that particularly could be of interest. And so how I'm going to do things is that when I play through, is that before I record, I go through a test run. I see if it's doable. I make sure that if, let's say something has you equip a helmet. It's like, well, now I can't use the Crown of Mana or the Dark King's Hood or whatever. So what I do is that I just go into the editor and I go, hey, make this hidden or make this not have non-biped slots and all that stuff. And that's all I do. Yeah, so let's go into one of these houses and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So let's go into this one. So this house right here is going to be our little testing one. Okay? So it's a little far away from the main door, but you can see there's windows here, okay? So I've been trying to figure out how I am going to make it so that way, though, these don't have windows. I might take a look at the Nexus, see if there's, like, I don't mind the front having windows. It's the back. Is there actually windows on the side? How is there windows there? Hold up. How is there windows on this side? If there's nothing here. Is there windows on this side? That's strange. So what I did is I tested this house, saw there was windows on the backside, so I went, okay, so let me see how this is going to work. Now, this is the funny part. So, here's the wall. How are those people getting sunlight through a window if there's no windows on the outside of the wall here? There's nothing here. I think open cities might fix that, but honestly, vanilla, it's like, I'm just going to say it's a vanilla game quirk. But another thing is that one of the towers has an item that's, or not an item, but it has like a thing that's like a Imperial City pillar. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover the windows with that. So yeah, so return to mod playthroughs, yes. What I'm going to do is that when I go through the test run, I'll figure out what is sort of like the best sort of item specifically to go and use for it, as like sort of the indicator of the mod journey kind of thing. I'll show you what I currently have. I haven't done all the other stuff because I've been solely focused on Xilestar, obviously, so I haven't really done all that much for that. You two are getting your names changed at some point. They're getting theirs changed to fit the actual custom race that I'm going to be putting them as. That's going to be good. But anyway, as soon as this loads, thank you. Alright, so you... So like over here, so like Syracuse is at the end, but you get his helmet. For his mod, the statue of Pelinal, this has been a pinnacle thing since the very beginning of the mod, and it only gets into the main story at the end of it, so it's like it's there kind of thing. A lot of these have features that I have attached to a separate ESP. That's going to be changing as well. I want to say why first. So the reason why I'm changing it is because right now this statue does nothing. So that means that there is a set of armor, a set of weapons, if I'm not mistaken, that cannot be used. I don't want that. I want that to be used. Same thing with the armor statue that's over here. This doesn't do anything right now, but I want it to work now. So I want this to be able to give you the true flame. No, this one's supposed to give you the surefire sword and elven fire as the weapons from Ivalon. And I think it also gives you the Ivalon armor. Might be wrong. No, I think this is just the weapons. This gives you a ebony armor that is sort of with the Mythic Dawn colors. And I really like that. So I really want to use this as my sort of thing for that. Heart of the Dead, these are the three key gods that sort of go spanning around the whole story. Shroud of Slowest Manor, again, the whole manor thing. The Well of Min Lorata, here it is. This is also from Heart of the Dead. I think that this is just a cool thing to show, like the Dark, not the Dark King's armor, the White King, the armor of the White King kind of thing. And this is also from the haunted house. There was nothing really too much that could fit in that sort of thing. And obviously I have a lot of stuff from the Lost Spires because I love the Lost Spires. It's one of my favorite things. I have a golden Mehrunes Dagon statue. This is because of the Servant of the Dawn. And then this is from the Oubliette. Yeah, this is from the Oubliette. You can remove certain bird sign effects based off of what you want. There we go. I think there's another one that's also from the Oubliette. And then here's the Dark King's Heart, which I'm going to be changing how the quest actually starts as well. So how the quest is going to work is that you will see this as a static object floating near you when you start when you boot up the game. This will be teleported to you. If you start a new character, it'll be teleported where you are when you leave the sewers, pretty much. And the idea is that like you have to go and like you have to click it in order for it to be activated. And it'll be like a random crystal has appeared next to me. Like, I wonder what this does. And then there you go, right? So yeah, so all of this is going to be probably moved over. This is going to be a lot of fun to move over again. Thanks. Thanks, me. Yeah. And I'm going to try and use this cave. But the idea is that, like, for Xilestar in general, what it's going to be is that it's going to be using the Ayleid Ruin from the Unearthing Mehrunes Razor as the basis kind of thing. So how it's going to be is, you know, Varsa Balim, I think that's how you pronounce it. That area in particular is going to be the main dungeon area that I'm going to have attached to Therion, which is close to Xilestar. And that area in particular is going to be what I'm going to be using as the main dungeon effort. Now, there's going to be a 3-dungeon tier system where the main entrance area, which is Varsa Balim, what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to have it be sort of like easy, where I'm going to have, because I want to have an 8-boss system where they're going to have like special creatures that are of those elements. So currently right now, what is currently planned from what I've seen of different mods and models is an alpha Arctic werewolf. I played a werewolf quest mod and I really like the model, and I think that it would be a really cool idea to have that. So that'll be sort of like a part of the original trio kind of thing for the Varsa Balim, which that area is going to have the 3 main elemental types: fire, frost, and shock. Tier 2, which is going to be stylized like the Shivering Isles Ruin system. I got to figure out 2 things first. 1, what is the theme of the area in terms of bosses? And 2, what do I want to do with them? Like, where am I going to position them kind of thing? And then the tier 3 is going to be sort of like where you get towards like the heart's inner core kind of thing. And that's going to be sort of like the Shivering Isles Root Caves system. And that's only going to have 2 bosses. One of them I plan to be an Ayleid Lich. So if you remember from Evelon, there's one Kirgan, I think, or whatever. It's going to have like a model like that, pretty much. And that's pretty much what that's going to be. The other thing as well is that I'm going to be re-implementing certain things from my original versions of my mod to this new version. So I'm going to show off what I'm talking about that through Therion. I'm hoping that I actually have it installed. So Enderal playthrough still going on. That's the next topic, is that it's still going on. I'm trying my best to finish the story though, but like our character keeps getting rocked and I keep trying to find ways of improving it, and it's like I just need to get more stuff. So yeah, I just need to get more items to make it slightly more better though. So Minecraft. So you're gonna hear it here first for this stuff. Okay, Cobblemon. So what's going on with Cobblemon? Cobblemon, I'm waiting until we get the next full version of Minecraft. From what I've heard recently is that they're going to be adopting sort of a year system instead. So it's going to be Minecraft 1.26 to represent 2026. So if they adopt that and then Cobblemon, let's say, updates to that, that's the next version I'm pushing into. Same thing with Pixelmon. As soon as they start pushing into that, that would be amazing. For vanilla, this is where things are going to be changing. And so is the title is going to be for the other two as well. So what I want is I'm going to have a major sort of brand, in quotations, change for the series. So instead of it being called Pixelmon Adventures, Cobblemon Adventures, and Circuitcraft, they're all going to be named Minecraft Dimensions SMP. Because since we're going to be using a lot of data pack dimensions in terms of personal reasons, in terms of like for you to have your own personal dimension, I think it fits very, very well. But the other thing as well is that all three of them are getting this change. It's not just one. All of them are getting this change. And the reason why they are all getting this change is because that's exactly how I want it to be. I want all of them to get this change.
Good to see you.
Where's the town? The little market. So yeah, so Circuitcraft will be rebranded to be Minecraft Dimensions, and then you'll have the, what do you call it, the sort of the straight line bracket, or however you want to call it. I don't know what it's called. I call it the straight line one. That one in particular, there will be a sort of like, you'll still have the thumbnail, but for that one in particular, it'll say like what series you're looking at. You're looking at. Are you looking at Cobblemon? Are you looking at Pixelmon? Are you looking at Minecraft Dimensions? I think I already pre-made a Minecraft Dimensions thumbnail. If not, I have the resources to make it. I just haven't had the time to go and do it yet. So yeah, so that'll be the major rebranding for that series. And again, I'm waiting till, you know, they decide to pull up the new version so I can just go straight into showing that off.
How are you today?
So yeah. The other thing as well is Palworld. Will it keep going? Yes. So right now, Palworld had a new update. I am not going to go through with it just yet. I want to wait until they have more content, because I think from this one, it kind of reminds me of how, what do you call it? Kind of reminds me how Bella Noir got introduced, where it was like a mid-update kind of thing.
Go ahead, please.
So yeah, so that's pretty much how I look at it as. There we go. So yeah, so here's what I'm going to be changing for the mod. Let's see, do I have... I pretty much already talked about the other two pretty early on. I kind of skipped a step here, but that's okay. Oh, that's not the one. I didn't get to the market. Whoops! Now I'll show you what I've been working on behind the scenes as well. So here's Therian. So as you see, as you will be able to see, this says the main hall. This doesn't look like a main hall to me. So I don't know. I don't like the way that Therian introduces the palace. This looks realistic, but that's kind of not what I like about it though. So I'll show you what I'm. So I'll show you what I want to do though. So I still want to keep this. Don't get me wrong. Nothing's going to be changing any of the interiors. Except for one of them, and I'm going to show you why. So this right here is not changing. This will not be gold, however. That will be changed into the normal Alien one. I don't know. I think the gold just doesn't fit Minecraft. Or not Minecraft. Oblivion. It doesn't fit Oblivion nearly as much. It's good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it fits what I'm looking for. And here is definitely what's going to be changing. So the dining hall will definitely be changing because this. I just dropped from 100 to 60 frames just by looking at the table. Yeah. This is definitely going to be changing as well. Yeah. Even though a lot of these are going to be like static objects, so maybe that will make this a little bit more stable. I don't know. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to try and figure out what Thaden's dinner table is, and I'm going to try and implement it onto the main floor, and then that'll be sort of like where the count and countesses of Oblivion sort of go to sort of seek an audience with the Dark King and stuff. That kind of thing. Here's the kitchen. Is the kitchen just as bad? 60 frames as well, man. Jeez. Yeah. Just as bad, dude. But it definitely looks really good, though. I really like it. I really want to work on this as well. But yeah, I'm going to be working on this interior stuff as well. Oh my word, man. I'm going to have a field day in here. This is going to take a while. So pretty much the next year, before I get into the final topic kind of thing. So next year, what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to do one of these cells per weekend. Because these seem like they're going to be very big and huge kind of thing. So I've already calculated how long it'll take. It'll be by March when this will all be done. By the middle of March, it'll be done. And I think that that's going to be much safer for me to do because I can tell you this for an instance, okay? Tell you this. Without doing ingredients, okay? Without doing ingredients, armored weapons for the smith. And I think for majority of the other stuff too. And I'll show you through this too, that most of the stuff is there, just not ingredients. So this is theirs. So you can see like all the ingredients are here kind of thing.
How do you do? And
these are not in mine. But you can see though, like all this stuff is here, okay? Now I'm gonna go to mine. If I can actually click the right buttons. See, mine should be... That's a weird way to put it, but okay. I think there's also a few things, like I didn't put yarn everywhere. They had yarn. I think that's a very silly thing. But you can see like there's no desserts here, there's no ingredients here kind of thing, and there's nothing like over here kind of thing. And I think there's supposed to be some things over here. Maybe up there as well, I don't know. There's might be some things over here, I'm not quite sure. If we go back, you'll see... Oh no, there's nothing up there. Oh, interesting. See, like there's ingredients here, all that stuff. Yeah, I'm not doing the ingredients. What I want to do is I want to implement a system where like all the ingredients reappear after 24 hours at 8 o'clock in the morning kind of thing. It's like, oh hey, these ingredients magically showed up kind of thing. But if you're like in that cell, it'll skip that cell until you leave. Then it'll go back. And then it'll check like every hour or something like that kind of thing. Or as soon as you leave the cell, that's when it goes, okay, now that he's out, let's do this. Right? And then it'll do that, and then you'll be like, then you can go down like a tower. Oops, this is definitely not the area I want to go to then. But like you can go into the tower. Let's say all these ingredients are gone, and then you go like, are still gone. You're like, oh, they didn't restock. Then you go down here. And you go like, oh my god, they restocked. And then you'll be like, oh wow, okay, I gotta go up here. And then it's like, what? They restocked again. There you go.
You've got the hands of a smith.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring some NPCs as well. So the idea for all of the different kinds of NPCs and such like that I want to add is that there will be a master for every skill, obviously, because I want to be able to do that. The master that's going to be for sneak is also going to be a fence. The master of mercantile will also be sort of like will also be a trait, also be like a general goods salesman kind of thing. And there will be 2 guilds in here that I don't know exactly where I want to place them just yet. But I'm thinking like the spaces that have this, yeah, I'm taking those out. Because I think this is an ingredient. Not even. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to take like those out kind of thing. And I'm going to put like a mage's guild, a fighter's guild, and a bank system in here. So I can actually use the bank system as a legitimate business instead of just like hoarding it for the player kind of thing. And the idea is that like the mage's guild is going to be like sort of like your all-knowing knowledge kind of thing. And how I'm going to do it is that like for all of my spells that I have specifically like listed under like each and every one of the classes, they're now spells. They're no longer lesser powers. I think I changed them a long time ago. So how it's going to work in a future update is that like, while you're journeying around the dungeon, you'll be finding these random chests around with these blank spell books. So what's going to happen is that spell book will leave your inventory. And then you'll get a notification saying a new spell has been added to the library. And you have to go to the Mage's Guild library, which will be like, let's say, how a lot of the arcane universities ones are, where they're like 3 floors kind of thing. So if you go head up the stairs, there'll be a bookshelf that will be nearly empty. It'll have some spells, but nothing too much. And slowly you'll start adding spells. And I just found a modder's resource where there are spell books that have each of one of the different skills as well. So like they have like the icons for the skills. So like conjuration, destruction, illusion, mysticism, restoration. Like all of these, they have their own sort of like book thing, and I think that would look really cool. So while you pick up a spell book, you're going to get a random spell. But you won't know what kind of spell it is, but in the code, it will. So let's say you pick up a spell book, but internally you picked up a destruction spell tome. So what's going to happen is that it's going to give you one of the destruction spells based upon the tier system, because certain spells have different powers, obviously. Because like I have different versions of of Cursed Hand. So you could get a weak Cursed Hand, or you'll be getting the weaker Cursed Hand first, but then later on you'll be getting the stronger Cursed Hand. And so that's what's going to happen. And the only ones that are going to be excluded from these spell tomes are going to be items that come from artifacts, like this Hero's Blade, which, if you know Elder Scrolls lore, you'll probably know what it is. I used a alternate version of naming the weapon as the way that I named it, and the Dark King's Regalia, which will have 2 versions, and I'll explain one of the cool things I want to do with it too. The Crown of Mana, which will be a random reward kind of thing from like a side quest or something like that. And so how I want everything to kind of work as is like, instead of getting a reward from an NPC, they'll be giving you a reward voucher. Now, why would you give a reward voucher than just give the player the reward? Well, it's because valuables can be stolen. And so everybody has stored their valuables in the bank. The bank has a safety vault that only one person can access. Well, technically 2, but it's mainly just a bypass. So the banker is the only one that can access those goods. And the banker is a stickler for the rules. So he would so if you think like, oh, he's just gonna, so if there was ever a robbery kind of thing, he's just gonna spill the beans so that way they're like, everything gets stolen. No. What he's gonna do is that he's gonna pretty much like activate the magic panic button kind of thing. It's going to alert the Dark King that something bad is happening. Well, technically it alerts the guards, and then the guards will immediately rush to the bank and go, what's happening? Because obviously the banker only does it if there's a robbery. Anyway, so the idea is that like you'll be getting a reward voucher. So instead of you getting, let's say, this as a reward, instead of you getting this as a reward, you'll be given a sort of a ticket kind of thing. I have like a random parchment I can pick up. Anyway, you'll be given a parchment kind of thing. This is going to be like a reward kind of thing. It's going to be like a voucher kind of thing. It's going to be called probably reward voucher. And they're all going to have their individual sort of tags. They're all going to be named the same. Then there's going to be nothing written in them, or there is. I don't know yet. So what you're going to do is that you're going to go to the bank. You're going to go to the banker guy, who pretty much is going to have the personality like he doesn't want to talk to you. He doesn't want to talk to you. He's a stickler for the rules, where he's the only one that has access to the bank vault, but he doesn't like talking to people, and he is the reason why there is a statute to deal with the banking services. You can also go to him, but he is going to be like the most unenthusiastic person. Go, thank you for your kind service, like that kind of thing. And instead, the statute is just going to be such a quick, easy thing. You don't have to deal with human interaction, blah, 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 that kind of thing. He's just going to be like, thank you for your kind patronage. Now kindly leave me alone. But if you have a reward voucher, he goes, oh, you have a reward voucher? Can I see it so I can see what to give you kind of thing? And then you can hand it over kind of thing. And when you hand it over, I think what I might do as the topics is you'll get to see a preview of the name of what you're getting as the reward. I don't know yet. So I don't know if I want to have it so though he just picks up whatever reward vouchers you have, and he goes, okay, I'll go grab those items and I'll put that in the chest right there. Just give me a second to go pick up the items. So he'll literally have a pathing where he'll walk to the vault. I don't know what the texture is. I think I've seen one that looks kind of okay, so I might just use that one. And then he'll walk close to the chest. He'll duck to sort of store the items, sort of like how the NPC sort of checks corpses kind of thing. And then all your items will be there. Or, better yet, think of the guy from the Knights of the Nine Revelations mod, where he goes and picks up all the items and sells them all. Which, by the way, that is one of the things that the bank is going to have. It is going to have a chest, or no, sorry. The general goods guy is going to have a chest that you can store stuff. It's going to have the same cap, it's going to have the same abilities. The difference is that like there will be an INI that will allow you to change the value of what you can sell, kind of thing. So if you can sell, let's say, an item for 4,000, but since the cap is 3,000, but let's say you want to change it to 4,000, you can. It retains that knowledge, kind of thing. That like, hey, you wanted, so it grabs what the INI says and goes, oh, the INI says 4,000. Okay, so since the value is 4,000, each individual item is worth 4,000 or less or blah, 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 or more kind of thing. So we'll cap it to 4,000. So if you put an item that's worth 500, you'll get 500. But if you put an item that's worth 5,000, you'll get 4,000. So pretty much how it's going to work is that the guy is taking sort of like a commission fee from the high ticket items, but for the low ticket items, he's not charging you anything. That's pretty much how it's going to work. And internally, how the code is going to work is that you have an entire day to put in all your items. The next day, the chest will be locked. It needs a key. There is no key to unlock it. Sorry. So that'll be when it does all the... It'll be the day he's negotiating sales kind of thing. And then the day after, you'll get all the gold. And then you can put in all the items again. And then he'll just redo it over and over and over again. And that's pretty much that. And then the banking system is going to be sort of like how like my typical bank thing works anyway. So the statue. The only difference is that I think I'm going to change the model of them, I think. They're going to change the model between the two of them. Also, there will be a Lucky Old Lady statue. I just don't know where I'm going to put it yet. I am going to put that somewhere. I think I'm going to change the models, though, between the two of them. It's not that I don't like them. It's just that I feel like for the Lucky Old Lady statue, I think it's built with the literally, like, the Lucky Old Lady statue than this, and then same idea with this. Like this feels like it's more... like bank oriented, and then this feels more Lucky Old Lady oriented. constructed. And then Statue of Elysian will be the statue that's up in the top area. And pretty much the lodge won't change, I don't think. I'm definitely going to change how the storage works because I learned something new about how storage works. Why are you up here? Weird. I will have to find out why you're broken like that. That's strange. Oh, all of you are broken like that. Huh. Are all of you broken like that? I know there's one thing that's broken in this house. I haven't changed it, but I gotta check to see if anything else is broken now. Yeah. It's because I changed how the wine rack is now. That one's not broken. That's weird. Yeah, this no longer opens anymore. No longer does anything anymore. It's very sad. No, everything looks good. It's, well, except for that. That's just because it has the alcohol and stuff in there. It's because the ESP handles it, but because they changed the pathing, only the ESM handles the new path, and not that. Anyway, so the final thing on the list, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Yes, it'll be continuing. I'll be recording that shortly after this one, pretty much. Shortly after this. So yeah, so pretty much how I want the area to look. Oh wait, we're here. Why am I doing that? So yeah, so I did try and go through with making all of the tower interiors into one cell instead of 3. Then I found out that that might cause pathing issues for certain NPCs. So then I changed my idea of that. So the one that is already at 3, if I'm not mistaken, I want to check Therian for a quick hot second. I want to see if that's actually true. If that's actually supposed to bring you there. And this doesn't bring you anywhere, I don't think. Oh, no, it does. But there's nothing in there. Yeah, there's nothing in there. That's what all those cells are, actually. They're all empty. They don't lead anywhere. They will next year. Halfway in next year. But definitely not right now, though. But all of these are now, all have their own editor ID names based upon what they are. So like Guard Tower 1, Guard Tower 2, and then each subsequent floor is called B1 for basement 1 and then B2 for basement 2, and so on and so forth. This is the only cell that is of the towers. So all the towers are actually done. They're all mostly done in a sense, but they're pretty much done. For this, yeah, ignore that. That's because I don't have the model for that. I don't remember what it is. I think it's like a stone cup or something like that. But yeah, some of these, yeah, you'll see you can move them for now. That'll be changed. But yeah. Yeah, so all these are here as it is in the original thing, except for ingredients. Yeah, this one was actually one entire cell. But I changed that. Also, I don't understand why this is like a really tall like part of the tower, but yet it's like empty. All of them are like that. Like, I'll go to this tower over here. See? Like, it's empty. The only part that fills the top area is the ladder. That's it. And technically, they're all the same door. They're all a door. Oh, hold on. Try and prove it. No. It must be a really tall door then. I'll show you through this. Oh, really? They all share it. That's interesting. Huh. Oh, no, they're not. Okay. Oh, I know. I know why. Okay, so that's probably because of the lodge. It's because of the lodge. So I was like, oh, they're shared for some odd reason, but no. And I have all the little ingredients here, kind of thing. So the idea that's going to happen, and I hope that this is actually going to work in my favor, kind of thing, is that this area is going to be dropped down to as far down as it'll actually take me. Until this very crystal over here is just to say touching the surface of the water that's down here. And that's pretty much it. It's one of the things I'm going to be doing. The other thing as well that I want to mention at the same time is that the lair will be introduced, which will be awesome. I'm still figuring out how I'm going to do it. I'm going to be bringing back the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary one cell thing that I was working on at one point, but then I gave up. Because of something. I don't remember what the actual like internal reason was. I think I gave one reason and I was okay with it, but I don't remember what the actual reason is in my own like sort of way of putting it. I probably just didn't want to work on it. Oh, it probably was because they messed up on one thing and it's like I don't want to do that anymore, so I just gave up. But yeah, so there'll be 2 separate throne rooms for Xilestar. So this one will be for the public to sort of dispute, to sort of put in their complaints kind of thing. So the upper area where Mankar Cameron's thing is going to be for exterior public. So like that'll be where like the Count of Kavach, the Countess of Anvil, even the Count of Anvil, the Count and Countess of Skingrad, Count and Countess of Coral, Bruma, Cheydinhal, Bravil, and Leowyn will come into the upper area. They will just say their kind of thing, and same idea with down here. This will be the citizens of Xilestar, where they will voice their complaints, and then obviously we'll have the intendant on this side, let's say, and then we'll have the royal advisor on this side kind of thing, and then whatever kind of thing. And then back here is going to be the activator for the Heavenly God King's Blade, which when you activate it, will be when it searches, it'll sort of scan your character for your fame and infamy and strength thing and whatever to find out if you're worthy. And then if you're not, obviously it won't give it to you, but if you are, it'll give it to you. It's not going to do the check again. So there's that. Unless you activate it again, and then it will check again, and then it'll say, you're not worthy, I'm taking this back. And then it'll take it back. And I'm going to have like a sort of a hidden button somewhere. Maybe I'll have it hidden behind one of these towers or something like that. That's going to be that, so when you take something from an activator kind of thing, the idea is that it's supposed to delete it or technically disable it. So what I want is I'm going to put a quest flag where if it's not, or like if it's on kind of thing, they'll stay, but if it's not on, they'll disappear. But as soon as it's on, they'll reappear. So when you flag it on, it'll scan all of them to find out if they're disabled. If they are, they'll be re-enabled. And such. And then that's just it. And then I can't wait for this to actually be within my mod, so I don't have to have this installed with 2 separate ESPs that I have to figure out which one's which. I'm joking. I have the patch one labeled, but you know, I want to be able to actually like put stuff of my own on here kind of thing. Because so far, the only thing that is mine that has been attached here is the way to get to here. That's it. But I want to be able to do this. This, I'm going to definitely tell you one thing I'm not going to import over. Is that. That's not being ported over. Is this a skooma? It's a skooma. That can stay. I want to do something with the skooma, though. That's why that's staying. But that pipe? Nope, it's gone. I just played a mod where it had, like, a lot of, like, imagery of that, and I'm just like, I'm not doing a video of this. If anybody asks me and say, nope, it's got too much stuff that I don't want, like, on the channel kind of thing. It's okay if it has suggested things like Enderall. Like, you can go with it, but I'm not going with it. Where is it? I don't remember the person's name, though. It's not Clarice. Oh, wait, is it the Zed guy? It's one of them. Weird that the forge isn't open. I'll just show off the Zed guy, and then obviously the next topic is going to be Legends ZA and all that stuff. Technically, I've already gone through those, so no need to go through them again. And then Pokemon Sapphire obviously is next. Yeah, hi, buddy. I'm not here to steal anything. I think... No, it's got ingredients. Yeah. So, like, this is okay. Like, even this. Oh, it shows all the Daedric shrines. That's interesting. Yeah. The only difference with mine is that these actually don't move. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, that's going to be it for this. I don't think there's really too much anything else I wanted to talk about, though. So, for just to briefly go over, like, for the Legends ZA and Pokemon Sapphire. So, for Pokemon Legends ZA, all the completes will be uploaded on Sundays, regardless if their full session is uploaded or not. All of the current videos, and... Oh, something else I forgot to mention about that, too. So, tomorrow, at the time of this upload... I did mess up. I was stressing, trying to figure out how to get Legends ZA to work. I didn't properly look when January 1st was until after the entire thing was rendered. And as soon as I realized after, I was trying to figure out how I'm going to try and fit a session midway through. Because I was only looking, or maybe I did. Maybe I looked at it as January 1st is Thursday, and I'm like, I gotta figure out how I can do the whole thing that fits and makes sense within the 6-day system that I had within 3 days. And I'm stressing over it, and I'm stressing over it. And then, I don't know what it is. I think after I took a sleep kind of thing, or after I slept, I looked at it and went, I messed up. I looked at it and went, I messed up. I could just upload Legends ZA on the 2nd, because if I remember correctly, I'm just going to tab really quick, and if I remember correctly, Legends ZA was the only final thing of that current 6-day thing. Like, it was the only thing left. And then I done goofed. Yeah. It was the last one for that system, and I just done goofed, and I did that. And then Pokemon Sapphire, again, I've already explained it, but I'll briefly go over it again. All the current videos are 16 minutes. I think one of them is even a full session, but that was because this was before Legends ZA happened. So please excuse that. Those were edited way before that, and I'm not going... And the reason why I'm not going back and re-rendering them to fit the new system is because... that means that I'm just going to say 2 hours. I know it's going to be more than that, but I'm going to say 2 hours. The 2 hours that I didn't have my computer for are now wasted. And plus, you got to understand, though, these videos are being rendered on an SSD, which means that I have a limited amount of times that I can do this for. So it's like, again, it's either read or write. But I'm just going to say write. So I don't want to keep rewriting over and over and over again, right? So instead, let's just leave it as it is. It's not hurting anybody right now. It's just going to be not as worth it at first, but then after that, you'll be getting 30-minute videos. So it's going to be good. The other thing as well is... so something else I wanted to mention as well. I think it's on think it's actually on the thing, but I don't think I mentioned it, but I'll briefly mention it here if I can find it on that list here. Oh, wait, yeah, so I didn't mention anything about the Oblivion script videos, so let me briefly go over that. So for Oblivion script videos, I apologize for not being able to do any this year. I did do 2 of them. I did do 2. I don't remember what they are off the top of my head. If you give me a few days, I'll definitely figure that out. I think one of them was my how I did my spell for the storage. And I don't remember what the other one was. I was testing a few new things where I can show off different tabs of the script extender, or not the script extender, the construction set, where I can show you each individual windows on the screen. And then that kind of didn't look good at all. So I said I'll go back to it, and then I got into the recording craze of trying to get different series done in the month kind of thing, and then that sort of just wrecked everything. So that kind of went down the drain. Is it not on here? No, I don't think I did put it on here. Or maybe that was it. Yeah, that might have been what it was. No, it might have been what it was. It was the script videos kind of thing. So yeah. Oh, I remember what it was. So I've been keeping track of the channel. Lately, I've noticed this about 2-3 months ago. I'm going to see if there's a way I can fix this. YouTube has not been notifying me on whenever somebody subscribes publicly, or when somebody actually comments on a video. So if I don't see your comment within relative amount of in a few days, please be patient with me. I am mostly just focused on uploading videos for like 2 days. Well, it's going to be 2 days now to fit the whole month, pretty much. So I'm not looking to see if I'm getting any notifications. Right now, I'm worried about, can I get the video uploaded on time kind of thing and get it ready to go. So I really appreciate the close to 500 subscribers that I have right now. Thank you very much. It really does show me a lot that like what I'm doing is making some people laugh, some people happy, some people like knowing different things and such like that, or even just watching me fail on games. Like even just that, it's like, oh, I'll never do that. It's like, good, because you shouldn't. But yeah, like I really appreciate it. Willie's changes be permanent. That's what I wanted to show. Not show, but that's what I wanted to read up on. I want to put my words exactly what I put on the doc. Will this new change be permanent? As of now, no. The plan is to see if this new system will be easier for me to maintain, because right now, every single day I have to upload 6 days worth of content. Because each and every day has 2 videos, that's 12. YouTube caps you at uploading 15 videos at a time. So I can't really do my old system quite well. So each and every day is about 6 days worth. With this, it's still the same system, but think of it this way. In one day, instead of a week, I get 2 weeks done. With maybe a weekend as well. Although I have until I started the Legend ZA DLC uploaded already. So it's like, and that's in March. So we're good with completes until March, till middle of March. Let's see here. So it'll be easier to maintain if it still provides the same channel growth, or even if it surpasses it. So even if it's about the same, which is at the current point, I'm going to say about 100 subscribers. So if we get to close to 600 next year, it's staying. Or even if it surpasses, so if it surpasses, obviously it's being kept. Obviously. What we have achieved in a year or more, then yes, the change will be permanent. Even if it is equal, but is easier for me, then it will stay. A an extra thing I wanted to say, even if it's a little less, let's say I get only 80 subscribers, I'm still going to do it if it's easier for me. Again, 2026 is going to be a huge roller coaster for me because it's like, I'm going to try out this new system. I'm going to try and get everything good. I'm going to try and get the setup into a worthy streamable system. So that way I can start streaming like I've been promising, and I haven't done it. But that's kind of what my goal is for next year, is like I want to see how far we can get with this new system. If it's just as good or even better or just a bit shy because it's such a new system that I'm introducing to my channel, not just any channel, but just my channel in particular, then that's okay. Like if I can't get up to the point where I want, then that's fine. And I've already hit about triple of the time that I wanted. Probably because I spent too much time working on other stuff. Anyway, I'm talking about other stuff. So yeah, I'll see you guys for next year. Hopefully a lot of good laughs and enjoyment. If you want to know if a session has been recorded for next year in particular, I will definitely have at the beginning of the session mention that this will be recorded specifically for 2026. Legends EA, I don't think I did that nearly as much because I didn't know. I think I figured that this channel might or might not be there, but in the later ones, I definitely did say like, oh yeah, this is totally for 2026. Cobblemon, I believe I said the current session that I had uploaded, this will be the first one for 2026, and same thing with Enderall if I still have videos for that and all the other stuff. So yeah, so I'll see you guys next time for some more videos.